10 warning signs of low oxygen in the blood. Today, we'll talk about something that could mean the difference between life and death, the signs of low oxygen in the blood. In a world where our bodies always talk to us, it's important to know what they might be trying to tell us. So, if you're ready to learn, let's get right into the 10 warning signs you should know. We often don't think about how important it is to have oxygen in our blood, but every cell needs it to live. When the amount of oxygen in the air drops, our bodies tell us that something is wrong. It's important to notice and act on these signs right away. Let's look at the 10 signs that the blood doesn't have enough oxygen. The first sign is shortness of breath. When there isn't enough oxygen, it can be hard to breathe. When our blood isn't getting enough oxygen, our bodies make us feel like we can't catch our breath. Imagine trying to run a marathon while only getting air through a straw. That's how your body feels when it doesn't have enough oxygen. What happened? Even when doing simple things, you might feel tired and need help getting your breath. Many of us have had this feeling after a hard workout or when stressed. But when shortness of breath happens all the time, even when doing everyday things, it could be your body's way of telling you that something is wrong. If you're always short of breath, that's a sign you shouldn't ignore. It could be a sign of several health problems, such as lung or heart problems. Seeking medical help and quickly taking care of this symptom can make a big difference in your overall health. Moving on to sign number 2, fatigue and weakness. We've all had days when we feel like we're dragging ourselves through the day. But have you ever thought that low oxygen levels could be a factor? Your body can't make energy without a steady supply of oxygen. When you don't have enough oxygen, your muscles and tissues have to work harder to do their best. This makes you feel very tired and weak. Imagine that oxygen is the gas that your cells need to run. If you don't eat enough, your body slows down, and that's when you feel like you'll pass out. It's important to know the difference between normal tiredness and tiredness that doesn't go away even after getting enough rest. If you feel weak and tired all the time, you should look into it further. These signals are how your body talks to you, and figuring out when something is wrong is the first step to fixing it. Talk to a doctor or nurse if you're feeling tired and weak all the time. Now, let's talk about the third sign, a fast heartbeat. You might be surprised to learn that insufficient oxygen can change your heart's rhythm. Your heart sends oxygen-rich blood to all the cells in your body. But when your body senses that there is less oxygen in the air, it goes into high gear and makes your heart beat faster. This is your body's way of trying to make up for the lack of oxygen. It's like your heart is working extra hard to ensure that the oxygen there gets to all the parts of your body as quickly as possible. Short-term increases in heart rate can be a normal response to exercise or excitement. However, a fast heartbeat that doesn't go away when you're at rest could mean your body is stressed. It's important not to ignore a fast heartbeat that keeps happening. It could be a sign of anything from simple dehydration to more serious problems like heart problems or low oxygen levels. Moving on to our fourth sign, confusion and cognitive impairment. Your brain is the control center of your body, and for it to work at its best, it needs a steady flow of oxygen. Think of oxygen as the fuel that makes the complicated processes in your brain work. When you don't get enough oxygen, your brain cells have difficulty talking to each other, leading to confusion, memory problems, and trouble focusing. You might forget important details, lose track of what's being said, or feel like your mind is cloudy. These small changes could be your brain's way of letting you know that something is wrong. It's important to remember that sudden cognitive decline is not something to be taken lightly. If your mental clarity changes suddenly and in a big way, you or someone you know needs to see a doctor right away. Time is important when dealing with cognitive problems, which could be caused by low oxygen levels or other serious health problems. Don't be afraid to ask for help from a professional. The fifth sign is that your lips and skin have a bluish tint. This is one of the most obvious signs that there isn't enough oxygen. When your blood doesn't have enough oxygen, it can turn a bluish color. This is called cyanosis. This happens because blood that doesn't have enough oxygen turns a darker color. This bluish tint shows up most often in places where the skin is thinner, like the lips, nail beds, and even the skin itself. If you or someone else has this bluish color, it means that the body may not be getting enough oxygen. It's a clear sign that you should see a doctor right away. Cyanosis can be a sign of several health problems, from lung problems to issues with circulation. Don't ignore this sign. Getting medical help quickly can be very important. Our sixth sign is dizziness and lightheadedness. Have you ever felt like the room is spinning or you might lose your balance? Low oxygen levels may be to blame for these things. For your brain to work well, it needs a steady oxygen supply. When the amount of oxygen in your blood drops, your brain can react, making you feel dizzy and lightheaded. To make up for the lack of oxygen, your body may send blood to important organs like the brain and heart. This change in direction can temporarily throw off your sense of balance. If you often feel dizzy or faint, it's best to slow down and avoid doing things that could worsen these feelings. The seventh sign should be a big red flag: chest pain or discomfort. Surprisingly, low oxygen levels can cause these feelings. Our heart is the engine that keeps our body going, and for it to work at its best, it needs a steady supply of oxygen. When there isn't enough oxygen in the air, your heart may have to work harder to pump blood all over your body. This extra work can make the muscles in your chest feel tight, which can make you feel uncomfortable or even hurt. It's the way your body tells you that something is wrong. Low oxygen levels can sometimes cause chest pain, but it's important to be careful about it. Chest pain can also be a sign of severe heart problems, so it's important to rule those out before looking at other things. Don't wait to get medical help if you have chest pain, especially if it comes with shortness of breath, pain that spreads to your arm, or nausea. Your heart health is a very important matter. Now, let's look at sign number 8, clubbed fingernails. Clubbing of the fingernails is a condition in which the nails change shape, usually getting thicker and more rounded. The tips of the fingers may look big or club-like. This change in the shape of the nails is thought to be the body's response to low oxygen levels for a long time. When your body doesn't get enough oxygen, the blood vessels and connective tissues in your fingertips change. Clubbed fingernails may seem like a small thing, but they can tell you a lot about your health as a whole. If you notice this strange change in your nails, it's a sign that you should look into it more. Don't wait to get help from a professional. Talk to a doctor or nurse who can look at your condition and figure out if there's a deeper health problem. Remember that your health is your responsibility, and knowing these signs can help you find problems early and get help immediately. Pay attention to and care about your health. The ninth sign might surprise you: high blood pressure. Even though the link between low oxygen levels and high blood pressure might not be clear initially, it is important to learn about it. When oxygen in your body drops, the fight or flight response can happen. This can cause blood vessels to narrow, which can cause high blood pressure, also called hypertension. It's important to know that fixing low oxygen levels doesn't just mean getting more oxygen. It might also be good for your blood pressure. If you have high blood pressure, think about the fact that low oxygen levels could be a cause. Talking to a doctor can help you come up with a complete plan for managing your blood pressure. Last but not least, sign number 10 is a physical sign that can't be ignored: swelling in the limbs. Low oxygen levels can cause fluid to stay in different parts of your body, especially in the ankles, feet, and hands. When your body doesn't get enough oxygen, the delicate balance of fluids can be upset. This can cause fluid to build up in these areas, making them feel swollen, puffy, and painful. Some swelling can be caused by things like heat or standing for a long time, but swelling that lasts and can't be explained should be a red flag. If you have swelling in your legs, feet, or hands that don't go away, you need to see a doctor. They can help you figure out if low oxygen levels are a cause and show you what steps to take. Dear viewers, these are the 10 warning signs of insufficient oxygen in the blood. We've discussed many things today, including how these signs can tell us much about our overall health. Remember that these signs could be signs of many different health problems, so it's important not to ignore them. If you or someone you know has any of these signs, you should see a doctor as soon as possible. Your health is the most important thing you have, and staying informed about possible health problems is a great way to keep yourself healthy. Thank you for watching this informative video. If you thought this video was helpful, don't forget to click like and subscribe to get more helpful information. Take care of yourself, stay healthy, and see you again soon.